So we finished 2 out of the 3 useful tool lessons. So I'm going to click on the Tinkercad logo and get to the home screen. There's the Nike logo with the sketch tool. There's the Mr. Fogelson with the scribble tool. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus create 3D design to get our last document open for a useful tool lesson. Okay, for this one, we are going to utilize the bent pipe tool. This tool will demonstrate some flexibility with the shape that you're going to drag in there, the 3D shape. So just be aware that you might have to do some tweaking to the shape in order to get the best results. Okay. So how to get to the bent pipe is I'm going to go ahead and click on the basic shapes option. I'm going to scroll down to shapes generator. You could scroll with your mouse by spinning the wheel or clicking the scroll bar here and go to shape generators. And it should pop up. Just be patient. As then you can see that the shapes are here. That this is the bent pipe, but you'll notice there's a star. I kept a star there because I like to use this tool a lot. And so I starred it and put in my favorites. So what does that mean? When I go to my favorites, I'm going to scroll to the way top, and there's my favorites. You'll see that my favorites are starred. It gives it a nice little category, so I don't have to go searching through everything. All right, but for you guys, shape generators until you star it. You can always star your favorite 3D shapes. So that way you have it in your favorites menu whenever you want. All right, so here's my bent pipe. I'm going to drag it into the document there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and drag it into the document. I'm going to rotate it so it's in the proper axis there, facing the proper way, and 90 degrees. And I'm going to bring it up, press D to drop down to that work plane. All right, so I have my bent pipe. And I'm going to start messing with some of the little options here. So arc diameter, I'm going to bring that up a little bit. You don't want any hollow in your bent pipe. This is just a good practice because if you have hollow stuff with your items, they don't print out well, especially with the bent pipe, kind of like can break very easily. So I'm going to increase that wall thickness. If there's no aesthetic to it, you definitely want to fill that in, okay, to the wall thickness. I'm just kind of messing with each one. I'm going to kind of change that outer pipe maybe a little bit width. I'm going to bend the angles. Okay, so I'm going to bend the angle down to the surface, or to the work plane, I should say. And it looks like it's just slightly off. So let's see if we can just type in 180 there. 180. There we go. And it just kind of glitched, but there it's all set. So it's pretty much even. And a good kind of way to, now that I have my first one, to set up your other two is just, since I've already set up the kind of parameters to begin with, just duplicate them. That kind of solves that issue. So I have 1, 2, and you're going to want 3, so I'm duplicating again. And so I have my 3 bent pipes. So I can make changes. I want to see that you're using kind of this, kind of the interface here to change some of the options on the bent pipe. So I'm going to go ahead and then to make them different, I'm going to go ahead and select square and square, and I'm going to make it slightly larger. I'm actually going to hold the shift key when I'm dragging this out, so it's constrained on that work plane, which is nice. Okay, so you want to make them bigger. You want to change the pipe shape and the hole shape. I'm going to go with this one, and we've got a hexagon and a hexagon, and it should change. There it goes. It's a little slow. Just depends on your internet, I guess. And I'm changing the size on that one. I'm actually going large, medium, large, and smaller. I'm going to change this to small. So I'm just kind of changing some things up. If you want to change the colors, you're more than welcome to, just to kind of make things more different or add some more variables to it. All right. So really, in essence, you should be changing kind of the options on here, as well as give it some variety, make it look cool. But also, we want to make sure these are centered to look kind of pretty. So I'm going to select them all by left clicking and dragging, or you can hit Command A, or you can click and hold the Shift key and click on the other one, hold the Shift key, click on the other one, hold the Shift key. And then, so they're all selected, and we want to align them so they're centered, okay? So I'm going to go to the alignment tool, that's mirror. So there's the, this is a good way to check to see what tool you're on. And just by hovering over it for a couple seconds and then clicking on it. And then just going to the center and everything's centered. I'm just gonna make this smaller because I can't really see from this angle the coolness of the other ones very well. So I'm just changing the dimension, or sorry, the size. I'm holding the Shift key when I'm doing this, so it kind of, whoops, Command Z to undo. Keep it on the work plane, right? And then you can do different angles on how you want to take your screenshot. So I'm actually pressing the middle mouse button to pan right now. All right, and I like this angle. It looks really nice. Everything, just make sure everything's aligned again. I changed the size on things. So let's align it. Oops, select it all. Hit that alignment. I'm just looking for a good angle to get a picture. And then I'm going to do a Command Shift 3 or print screen. And I got my picture to get that screenshot saved to my desktop. And I'm just going to go ahead and move this out of the way so we can see that we do have all three screenshots. We've got our name with the scribble tool. We've got the Nike logo imitation using the sketch tool. And three various versions using the bent pipe tool. All right, now I'm going to turn it into Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Google Classroom. Make sure we go to the correct class. And then we're going to go into 3 useful tool lessons. I'm going to hit the plus add or create file option. I'm just going to go ahead and select all my 3 screenshots there, drag them into the upload option. I'm going to be patient while they upload. Might take a minute depending on the internet connection. All right, just double checking the thumbnails there. Everything looks great. Hit turn in, and you're all set. All right, now it's your turn to shine. Rock it out.